Hundreds of people are spending another night destitute after days of heavy rain caused flooding in Gauteng. Some have had to be accommodated in temporary shelter after their homes were submerged and even washed away. 2 people have so far been confirmed dead in Tshwane alone. Our reporter Zikhona Tshona is live for us in Nellmapius in that Tshwane area. Zikhona, you have been moving around the capital quite a bit over the past few hours. Give us an idea of the extent of flood damage from the various areas that you've been to.
Well, the extent is quite severe, particularly in Mamelodi West, where there's an informal settlement which is situated right next to a riverbank. So those people have left their homes and have been encouraged to rather find shelter or refuge in community centers or churches. People have not been able to enter that area because it is quite flooded, and people's furniture, when we were driving past there today, the situation is the same as yesterday. People's furniture is floating, houses completely burnt, others the water is just too deep or too high up. The level of water is too high up to a point where they have not been able to access their homes. People have lost everything. People have lost their IDs. They've lost very important documents. They've lost their furniture. But in this area, fortunately, we have not had any fatalities. Now, community members have come to the party, particularly those who have not been affected by the flooding. Particularly churches have come out to say, come and find shelter in this church and we will help this community, and that's played a very important role in making sure that people have a shelter, a roof over their head. We are now at worship center at Nellmapius, and I'm joined by a pastor from this church who has come out to say he will take the women and children who have been affected by this flooding, and they have found shelter here. The church is providing food for them as well as shelter. Pastor, what else can South Africa do to help the people that you are helping out here?
So far, they really have helped a lot. We were battling with blankets. Today, we received more blankets. But with us, our challenge is the kids. We have got kids here. We are battling with things like pampers and food for the kids and medication, of course. The children tend to be sick easy. So if really people can come and help with medication and clothing for the kids, we really will appreciate it even more.
And just in terms of space, because I'm seeing there's 50 people, but you only have 2 rooms. How's that going to work out? Because people can't sleep in a hall. It's cold. That's why they've been moved here.
It is cold, but we have to do with what we have. Last night, we did not have enough blankets, so they slept on chairs and everything, but as it were, we have now opened the church. We are expecting some sponges today, tonight, and at least warm meal. We don't know how long this will take, but as for tonight, like you're saying, they are going to have to sleep in the church. We've opened the church for them, and people around here has really helped us a lot, bringing whatever they could, and we really appreciate it so much.
That's Pastor Masotla from the worship center here in Nellmapius. Now I'm going to ask my colleague to come with me just so that people can see, and if they are intending on lending a hand and reaching out to the people here, this is the situation that we find at this church. There are 2 rooms accommodating at least 50 women and children from these affected communities. And as you can see, it's quite overcrowded, and the pastor did mention that a lot of people have come out to bring clothes and blankets, but more help is certainly needed. I'm gonna bend down and speak to Sis Tshwane over here. She's agreed to speak to me. Ma, niziva njani kuyo yonke lento yenzekileyo? Ulukhona uncedo kodwa I'm sure kunzima.
Yo, thina sisizivi kahle. Ayithethe kahle because iluziselo hinkwaswo the ID tempahla and nayitsakani because na vote mara ikona kufuniwa and leswi swi ni tsaka ku baba ni khensa xikwembu loko hi hanyile n'wana 8 months a ra henhla ka murhi a famba na hi ma a yi nga tshembi ku ri hi ta suka hi mukumeni na vana va 3 years. And ku nga na munhu loyi a hi rescue yako hi kumbela mpfuno ka maphorisa va ku vona va nge hi pfuni hi tlhe hi pfuna vafana hi koka vana hi ti-rope na hi bafu hi hoxa n'wana a bafu hini so a ni nga tshembi
a tshembi na namuntlha xikwembu lexikulu va te va ni fonela ntirhweni va ri vana va mina a va swi koti ku huma matini ni nga tshembi ni hetile ku ri n'wana wa mina u lovile ni khensa xikwembu ni kombela ku ri mfumo wa hina wu hi pfuna hikuza ni va voterile last a Zimbabwe a ku humelelisa swo va rhumelele eleprayini le mara loko ku ri hina va ku vona hi nge swi kotakali hikuza ni weta i njhani so hina hi endlini ene ravi 2 hayi no tshama hi ku rhanda la hayi na la hi nga tshamiki kona hi tshama at RDP house mi kuma mi family house 15 so dotiswa hi huma te yendlela te squatter camp because mi nge tshami na vo malume vo kuku vo mhani hi ku sogola ku ri ta tiveka la hayi ku rhanda
just okugqibela ke mama nizawuthini ke ngoku emveni kwayo yonke lento nizawubuyela phaa ecambi kwalamanzi
akubuyeleni hayi na la hi nga ya tshama kona haya kwini hi ta ku vuyeleni a wu na la hi nga tshama kona hi kumbela mfumo yona a hi pfuna ku ri hi kuma ndhawu ya kahle.
Mom, just to recap on what she just told us, a very painful story of how she had to make sure that her child is saved from that situation and how she had 2 other children with her and she had to try and make sure that she rescues not only herself but prioritizing her children, and she's saying that help didn't come soon enough and when they needed it in that community, and she's urging government to come out here and just see how they live and just reach out a hand and help them. She is saying that they've got nowhere else to go. They are going to go back to that community, and a lot of people that I've spoken to are saying that those are the only homes that they know. They've got nowhere else to go, and that area is situated next to a riverbank, so it's certainly not safe. We were at a Mamelodi Baptist Church earlier, and that church leader was telling us that it's the second time that he has to house people from that area as a result of flooding there. So we are calling on South Africans to come out and help the residents of Mamelodi in particular who've been affected by this flooding, and they can come to the worship center here in Nellmapius. They can go to the Baptist Church in Mamelodi and lots of other churches around these communities that are accommodating those affected by the flooding.
Here, reporter Zikhona Tshona in Tshwane, the capital Pretoria tonight, where we continue to track the aftermath of those devastating floods in various parts of Gauteng. You see a situation there where Zikhona is standing in that room, 50 women and children forced to share a small space after their homes were submerged and even washed away by that rain over the past few days. Stay with ENCA for much more coverage of that story.